Bunnie Xo and her husband Jelly Roll live a pretty charmed life nowadays, but her past is filled with abuse, addiction, and brushes with death. Bunnie Xo was born in Houston, where her mother Vanessa stripped for a living, and her dad Bill was a musician who lived a rock and roll lifestyle. Her mom didn't stick around to raise her. She left when Bunnie was only 3 months old. Both of her parents did drugs. When Bunnie's mom left, Bill was in the hospital because he had contracted hepatitis C from a dirty needle. So Bunnie's mom left her at a stranger's front door. As she recalled on the Barely Famous podcast, "It took my dad 2 weeks to find me. When they found me, I was locked in a closet." Bill remarried when Bunnie was 5 years old, and his new wife Michelle was just 17. It wasn't Michelle's inexperience that made her a terrible stepmother, but rather the fact that she was verbally and physically abusive. This terrible treatment at home led to Bunnie lashing out at school, which got her expelled on more than one occasion. Her father's response was to teach her how to fight.
He would put his hands up, hit me, hit me, hit me.
Bunnie Xo's family moved to Las Vegas when she was 5, and her stepmother gave birth around that time. While her sister was spoiled rotten, Bunnie says she got the Cinderella treatment, but she didn't let that break her spirit. Alas, Bunnie's dad wouldn't take accountability for his role in this dysfunctional home life. Instead, he told her that he was taking her to Disneyland one day, but their actual destination was a psychiatric hospital where he had her committed. Bunnie was just 14 at the time, and her parents had made some serious changes to how the family lived by becoming strict Pentecostals. Bunnie soon decided that she'd had enough and opted to leave home. She moved in with a friend and worked as a lifeguard and waitress to support herself. Bunnie lost her virginity when she was 16, and she ended up getting pregnant. The friend she was living with told her that she couldn't keep staying there if she had a baby. The boy who got her pregnant also had no interest in being a father, so Bunnie agreed to get an abortion if he could give her the money for it. Before the procedure, Bunnie was given a picture of her ultrasound, which gave her second thoughts. During an appearance on the Barely Famous podcast, she said she begged the doctor to stop, but he performed the operation anyway. The experience was made worse because Bunnie didn't receive the correct amount of medication, making it extremely painful. She also believes that the doctor performed the procedure incorrectly, which caused her to later experience 2 potentially deadly ectopic pregnancies. The first one resulted in her being rushed to the hospital after she began experiencing abdominal pain at school. The second time, the much older guy she was dating left her alone for 3 days after she underwent surgery to end the pregnancy. When Bunnie Xo underwent her first ectopic pregnancy surgery, she was dating a guy named Tony. Her father and stepmother came to the hospital, but she refused to leave with them and ran away with Tony instead. When Hollywood medium star Tyler Henry appeared on Bunnie's Dumb Blonde podcast, Bunnie told him that she was with Tony when he died. They weren't together anymore, but she still cared enough about him to visit him while he was in a coma. She recalled experiencing an eerie moment at Tony's bedside that made her certain that he was gone.
I held his hand, and when I was holding his hand, I could see him standing, looking at me in the corner of the room.
According to Bunnie, Tony was a rare bright spot in her painful past. As she admitted, "He actually always loved me." During Henry's appearance on Dumb Blonde, he offered Bunnie a message from the beyond that he claimed was from Tony.
I think that guy wants you to know how proud of you he is.
When Bunnie Xo met Jelly Roll in 2015, she was in an abusive relationship with someone that she'd been dating for almost 5 years. As Bunnie recalled on the Sophia with an F podcast, that relationship was initially mutually supportive, but then things took a dark and terrifying turn.
He strangled me so bad one night that he burst all the blood vessels in both of my eyes. He broke my orbital bone. He cracked my larynx.
On her own podcast, Bunnie revealed that this ex damaged her throat so badly that she lost her singing voice. He also tried to keep her from going to the hospital after he beat her, although she still managed to see a doctor who told her that he'd only ever previously seen eye injuries like hers in people who had been strangled to death. On another occasion, Bunnie's ex beat her in the back seat of a cab after she disagreed with his plan to celebrate Christmas Eve at a Las Vegas strip joint. It took her abuser going to prison for her to finally get away from him, and then she was free to pursue a relationship with Jelly Roll. Bunnie has had her own struggles with addiction, which she opened up about during a 2022 appearance on the Sex and Violence with Rebel Girl podcast. She used to drink heavily and take several different drugs, including cocaine, Xanax, and Lortabs. As she recalled, "If you look back on pictures of me from 6 years ago, I look older than I do now because I was literally just partying my ass off." Bunnie kicked her cocaine habit first, and she was dating Jelly Roll when she decided that she wanted to get completely sober. Her recreational Xanax use led her to steal and mess up her friendships. It got so bad that she overdosed twice, but she eventually found help from an unexpected source. When Bunnie was 22, she managed to reconnect with the mother who had walked out on her when she was just a baby, but she somehow ended up helping Bunnie more than anybody else. As Bunnie recalled on her Dumb Blonde podcast, "I called my mom every night at like 2 or 3 in the morning, just bawling my eyes out. And I even told her, I don't want to end up like you."
And she was just there for me, dude. Like, nobody else was there for me.
Bunnie Xo's career in the sex industry started when her ex-boyfriend Steve broke her heart. As she recalled on Barely Famous, "He cheated on me with a stripper, and I was like, well, she can do it, I can do it." But her first experience stripping when she was 18 didn't go so well. She was so nervous that she couldn't stop breaking wind, and she found one customer's request that she kick him in the groin to be upsetting. Bunnie then worked as an escrow assistant and loan processor before she gave stripping another shot when she was 21. Eventually, she discovered that there was better money in being a high-class call girl, but as she told the This Is the Worst podcast in 2024, it was also more dangerous.
I've gotten punched in my face before and held in like hotel rooms and stuff like that. Yeah, that's happened before.
Bunnie was also horrified to learn that one of her clients was in possession of child sex abuse material.
I just like immediately felt my insides like crumble, and I was like, you need to turn that off right now.
Despite the dark side of the job, Bunnie found it empowering.
Sex work was my way of taking my power back.
Jelly Roll and Bunnie Xo have a pretty incredible life together now, but their relationship hit a rough spot back in 2018. She talked about their split on her YouTube channel and broke into tears as she revealed what she was going through.
Can't eat. Literally can't make it through a day without wanting to cry.
Bunnie was more angry than sorrowful in a follow-up video, as she had recently confirmed her suspicions that Jelly Roll had cheated on her. As she explained on the Barely Famous podcast, "The one rule was don't lie to me and don't do behind my back." Bunnie and Jelly Roll's breakup didn't last long, though, as they managed to have a heart-to-heart conversation about what he did. When he came clean, she learned that he had a year-long affair with one of his exes. According to Bunnie, discovering that he'd been unfaithful was, quote, "the worst feeling in the world," but she decided that their relationship was nevertheless worth saving. So they put the work into repairing things by entering therapy.
That's where I learned that you have to be comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Communication is key, but comprehension is vital.
They actually have an open marriage now, so he can sleep with other women, and she can sleep with other men. In December 2020, Bunnie shared a TikTok of her warm reunion with her mother, Vanessa. Although the two of them had been in contact for 15 years, they hadn't met up in person before then. Sadly, though, they didn't have that much time left together, as Vanessa died from an illness 2 years later. The day after her death, Jelly Roll revealed on Instagram that Bunnie had moved Vanessa to Tennessee so that she could get the medical help that she needed. Bunnie later wrote about her mom in an Instagram post of her own. She explained that she had come to understand that Vanessa's struggle with addiction was the reason she abandoned Bunnie when she was a baby. After admitting that she had spent years being angry with her mom, Bunnie ultimately said that forgiving her was the best thing she ever did. The year after she lost her mother, Bunnie took to TikTok to reveal that she was moving her father, Bill, to Tennessee. He'd been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and Bunnie was appalled by his doctors, suggesting that she let him die after he contracted pneumonia.
Whatever my pops wants, we're gonna do just to give it the old good fight.
Bill didn't have much time left with his daughter either, as he passed in May 2024. Bunnie remembered him on Instagram by writing, "Hey Bill, I'm going to miss you. You are still my favorite rock star and my hero. This one's going to hurt. Rest easy and don't make too many angels fall in love." Bunnie has proved her resilience on numerous occasions, but dealing with her mental health struggles has still been a frequent struggle. In a YouTube video in 2019, she revealed that she suffered a terrible panic attack when she was 18 after taking ecstasy, which is when she began experiencing anxiety. She ended up getting her breast implants removed in the hopes that it would alleviate the struggle. Things got so bad that she found it difficult to be in large crowds, which made it challenging for her to attend Jelly Roll's concerts. Bunnie's mental health issues got even worse in 2020. She revealed on Facebook that she had a frightening depressive episode while shooting the music video for Jelly Roll's song A Beautiful Disaster. As she wrote, "I was so off mentally and so scared of what I might do to myself. I had just had my implants removed a few months before this, suffered a miscarriage a month earlier, and my hormones were all over the place." For Bunnie, the thing that helps her the most when she's depressed is to get moving.
I want to get up, put makeup on, go to work, do something to take my mind off of it and be productive.
But even when Bunnie Xo is at her lowest, there's clearly no snuffing out that hustler spirit. If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP-4357